Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. Must be Bobby Atkins Day.
How you doing, Ed?
Doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Good.
I got my yard work done this weekend in between the rain.
Did you?
So, I went out and I was like, it's drizzling, but I'm gonna do it because I don't want to spend Sunday after church doing it. And so I timed it just perfect, man. As soon as I finished, it started raining.
There you go. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do in our backyard still. So I had a Rotary function on Saturday that I had to go to since I'm going to be the president coming this year.
Yeah.
And then didn't do much the rest of the day because it was, only a few hours for dinner. And then Sunday I was outside all day. First I had to go to Escalon and get some pots that I had made for us for the backyard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we had
pots. Huh?
Well, no, just painted the right color. So when we first went there, we found two of the right black color that we wanted, right? Because we have gray house, white house with gray trim. The pool's all gray, so you don't want everything gray. So let's have some black and some other, And so we had, and then I was like, okay, I want these other two, and I want the close to this color, and they just couldn't do it. She's like, it's weird that I have painters who can't seem to paint these pots. She has one guy from Mexico that comes up that's normally here. He's gone till July. And
Gotcha.
She's like, he's the best. And these other two are good, but they can't seem to get the same color. And so we had to go out there and check these other set, and it was fine. It worked.
What place was that in Escalon?
That's Lopez Imports.
Oh, okay.
They've been there forever. Yeah. Because when we're at our other house, we went out there and got pots. But then there used to be a place in Turlock off the freeway that we got more from. So when we had our other house, I had pots all along the what you would call it, like the retaining wall. You have that cap on there.
Uh-huh.
Well, I went around the back of the pool and had two pots up there, and then two bigger pots. So we had tons of pots. And when we moved, we were like, okay, we used them in the backyard, but with the new thing, we don't need them, so we gave them away.
Yeah. I was gonna say we have an ongoing joke around our house about how many plants are in pots, right? Yeah, I'm all about let's put them in the ground. But yeah, my wife's grandma who lives with us, she loves gardening. She's got a green thumb, but puts everything in a pot. So I counted like the other day is like 32. So
as long as they look good, who cares?
We got to get these things in the ground.
Well, my grandparents would go into like different stores and they were into succulents. So they're like, oh, this is a nice one. I don't have a snap. And go home, take a little piece and grow it.
Clipping. Yeah.
It's like, really? Just buy it for $1. What's your cheap?
Different mentality, man.
Yeah.
But, they came during the Depression.
That's thievery, by the way. Anyway.
It's like when you go into the grocery store and you see someone like eating like some grapes or something, you're like, man, there's got to be some way they can convict them of something like that, right?
Nope. Under $950.
Well, true nowadays, right?
Yeah, that's why everybody's, there's so many people fed up with this, with the homeless and with the lack of law and order and everything. And there's still people leaving, and I'm talking businesses and actors and actresses. Not that we really care, but the good ones we want left here. The problem is if everybody leaves who doesn't like what's going on, and it's that's the political party that just leaves the other people. And at what point does it get to a point where someone says, this isn't working?
Yeah. And that's why you're still seeing a lot of people in like the major cities. A lot of people that have been there for years and years and dealt with it and kind of ignored it have now kind of even started saying like, look, this is such a huge problem. We can't just kick this can down the road. There was even, this was about a year and a half ago. But it was a whole city block in San Francisco where all the homeowners went and got like giant rocks and like put them on the sidewalk.
Yeah, so they couldn't have homeless. Yeah.
And
then they're like, you can't do that.
Yeah, the city removed them.
Well, recently you have Nordstrom's closed two of their office, two of their stores there. They're like, we're done. Unsafe. We're not going to be here anymore. That's going to happen. And then at what point, you need to turn this around. We need to get back to where it used to be so people feel safe. People don't feel safe anymore. Think about how many concealed weapons permitted. Thank God in Stanislaus County, you can just go get them.
Yeah. No, I tell people all the time, if you can find a reason to move to Stanislaus County, that's definitely one.
Yeah. Well, San Joaquin gets them, but it's not as easy.
Yeah, it's more of a process. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the other states you can carry, it doesn't matter. But again, I like where I live. I just want it better. We need to make this state golden again. It's a little tarnished. I said that for years, the past couple of years. California needs to be golden, and the only way to get that fixed is to get out and vote. And you need to get out and vote with your pocketbook, not vote. Vote for something, not against something. Whatever that is. Yeah, I can't. I mean, the problem is the younger generation, and people don't understand this, the younger people control the vote. If you can talk to them, please talk to them and let them know what because when I was young, I was a dumbass when I voted, right? It's a little different. Now it's like, oh, my grandfather told me always vote with your pocketbook. When you're first out, you have no idea it sounds great. I want change. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know it meant change in my pocket.
Yeah. Or your life is going to radically change, right?
Yeah. And
transformation of America looks like it's happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like right now, everybody's like, why are you so political? Because it destroyed our industry. Yeah. It really did. I mean, rates went up 4% because of people's policies not caring about how it was going to affect the rest of the people in the United States. And that's where the problem is. And I don't want to keep getting on a soapbox here, but you need to understand that everything has consequences. The way you vote and putting the wrong people in will affect your life for 4 years and on.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I totally agree, man. It wasn't until I had some skin in the game, and I was paying taxes and losing, 30% of my income that I started paying attention.
Yeah. But the problem is people just don't, when I say that the young people control it, they do. And unfortunately, they don't understand. By the time they turn around and figure it out, it's going to be 10 years from now. How bad are we in 10 years from now? Yeah. The biggest thing that needs to happen right now is we need to have a moratorium on builders' costs. Drop the builders' costs. Stop giving these programs to help people get into homes. Let's start building some homes. If we could build some homes, we would have affordability. We would not have the properties going up 20% because that's where we're going to go again. We're on that way already. We need people to build homes. We need to do a moratorium on building homes to rent in this state, right? They need to be built to live in, and that way. And I know you can't really stop the other, but that's what our problem is. We're building more for rent than we are to live in.
Yeah, I was speaking with a friend last night, and he's been looking at purchasing a home, and he's just kind of getting frustrated just because of where the price point he would be at. He's not gonna be able to get what he wants,
You don't get what you want with your first house anyway. I don't know why everybody thinks they do. Even some of your, and I think Mike and I talked on Monday. It's like, even maybe your second and third isn't always the way it is. You build your own home thinking and then you live in it and you go, man, we were dumb. We shouldn't have done that. Right.
Yeah, this would be a second home, but yeah.
I mean, again, you're not always going to get everything you want. That's the problem. That's why you do it, nothing, unless you're going to build your own multi-million-dollar home, maybe.
Well, and so I do get the question a lot. People say, "Hey, I want some land. I want kind of like a ranchette or something like that, right?"
Good luck.
So here in the valley, one thing you got to keep in mind is that almost all this land is farmable, right? So it can be income producing. So that's going to make it much, much more expensive. But if you go up the hill, if you can go up to like LaGrange, you can get land fairly cheap.
Right.
You could get 2 acres and a nice house for $430,000, $475,000.
You just have to be able to commute or work from home,
Yeah.
and make sure you can get some good service out there for internet.
Yeah, actually, I have a client out there. She works remotely, and she has good internet service, obviously. Right?
Well, I'm saying because some people go up to Sonora and above to do the same thing what you just talked about, but they got all these trees, and you can't get goods. It depends. Like some places are conifer, which is line of sight, which is just as bad as HughesNet.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the Starlink is pretty good. But I'm just saying, you have to know where you're buying if you're going to do that, what kind of services you can get, and so make sure that you know that before you buy.
Yeah, because to get a nice home on 10 acres, starting at 1.3 million right now down here in the valley. So,
right. But the other problem with those is they're buying some dairy potentially or something. You know what I mean? There's out in the country means out in the country with the acreage. It means that, like you said, people are going to still be farming, and there could be dairies. There could be so many other things that people don't realize. Man, it's so dusty here. I grew up with that stuff, right? My grandparents had 20 acres. It was a dairy. It was dusty. It was this. You have other things you have to be. I'm not knocking it. I just, you have to understand what you're getting into before you go by there. And a lot of people, I don't think, get that when they go, I want a ranchette. Okay, who's going to take care of the ranch yet?
I think people will be surprised. Even 2 acres of land, that is a lot to maintain.
32 acres of land is horrible to maintain. We cleared off 6 acres for our house part of and it was like the rest of the place is just overgrown. It would cost a fortune just to have somebody come in and clear it to where you could see everything.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to be done. But I'm like, one of the guys that works for us, it's like, go there anytime, cut wood. I don't care.
Yeah.
Keep clearing over there. In a few years, you might get there.
Yeah. Start milling all that wood and go build yourself a house, right?
It's pine. That's only for trim. That's the problem is it's not. There's a few black walnut, but supposedly you can't take those down. So
who's going to know?
Yeah. Well, it might have fell down in the storm.
Yeah.
With that chainsaw. Yeah, but you're right. But it's this what people want. And that's why a lot of people moved out of state to get that. And then they don't realize what else they get when they move out of state. So just be careful, where make the decision where you're going to go. Everywhere's being affected just like we are right now. Even Las Vegas is already turning. They have one of the biggest sales they just had is going to close 57 million or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Some ridiculous number that's what happened. It changed that quickly as rates came down a little bit. Once they got in the 6s, they weren't 7s anymore. The people jumped on it because they knew they were going to keep going down. And one of the things is this week, tomorrow is the CPI numbers, and we don't know if it's going to come out to drastically change where everything's going. We have a feeling it's just going to come out okay, and it's not going to make a big deal like they thought. Like I've been kind of saying, it's from January. They've been saying, hey, don't lock till June, till May 10th. That's our biggest change. We're going to have a change, but I don't think it's going to be as big because of what happened with OPEC raising their numbers and some of the job stuff that came out recently. I think maybe June would be the number myself, but I hope I'm wrong by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything going on you need to know about? Any houses coming on the market?
Nothing right now. Working on some though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Car's all done though, right? So
yeah.
I saw the picture posts on Facebook. You should have put some other pictures there next to it.
Oh,
so people could see the rest of the car, not just the behind the car.
Maybe I just hate to boast, man.
But you can just say, here, someone said, I've just got it back on. Here's my pictures. That's not boasting.
Yeah.
It's just showing.
I drove it today, man.
You need to go, oh, I'm the greatest painter in the world. That's boasting.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm so glad to have it back on the road. There's still some detail stuff I have to finish up, but
always, dude, always something.
It's
like my truck. I mean, I have to fix a tail light. It's having issues. It's supposed to be LED and it's having issues on half of it. It's like I got to call the company and get another part. Always something, dude.
Yeah.
Always something. All right. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, man.
All right. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, Bobby. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Ed.
And everybody, if you like what we do here, the easiest way to support us is just go to our YouTube channels and subscribe. Again, thank you so much.